Okay, Michael, here in Marrakech, Morocco, you've had a few days here and one match under your belt with this team, a positive result. So, how is this camp going for you so far?
Oh, I think we're very pleased. Obviously, when you look at results, you have to be happy that we've come off the back of a disappointing period in September, and the group has rebounded very positively. Their application here has been great. Some difficult situations in terms of environment and travel and things, and I think they've adapted very well. And the match itself is positive, not just from the result point of view, but I think the idea that we were successful in an area of the game that we've been struggling in for a period of time is something they can take away and build upon. And it's only going to get harder now when we play Morocco, but it's a good start. I'm really pleased for them, and that they've been able to sort of emotionally take a step because we're on a new journey now.
Yeah, exactly. Just put that into context. Obviously, the World Cup qualifying exit for the whole program is a blow. There are players that we may not see again. It's a change of era, I suppose you could say. So as you embark on this new journey, what is the kind of long-term focus of the program as we start this new chapter?
Yeah, I think specifically speaking, I think we have to say that the Canada Soccer and the men's national team program reacted very quickly. Obviously when you do find yourself eliminated from World Cup qualifying, sometimes it takes a little time to react. And I think in the past we have not reacted quick enough. So the idea was immediately not to go dormant, but to get on the front foot and decide what we were going to do over the short term, which will assist us moving into the long term. So I think the decision was made that we move forward strategically and efficiently and with a plan in mind, but that we were going to get going here. We were not going to wait. And so in terms of the next steps, those will start to roll out over the next couple of months.
If you look at the fixture calendar, I suppose the next major outing is the Gold Cup this coming summer. Obviously, it's a tournament that Canada hasn't necessarily always treated with kind of A1 importance, but I suppose now that World Cup qualifying is kind of on the back burner for a little bit, this is a very important tournament for Canada.
Absolutely. And I know some people have said, coaches always say, when you're talking about friendlies and those types of, nothing's a friendly. But the reality for us right now is externally, as it's marketed, on an international calendar, it'll be seen as a friendly. But what we've strived to promote inside the group is it can't be a friendly. We must be relevant, specifically internally. Everybody has to come in and know that over the next number of months on the recognized FIFA calendar and the FIFA dates, that they need to come in and perform because you are being assessed and you are being evaluated, and there has to be accountability in the group because we are starting to transition, as you say, into that next phase of Canadian soccer. There are players that are going to continue to contribute, or can continue to compete for their positions, but there's also that vast amount of players that are starting to move into the system, which over the last 2 or 3 years has been very successful in building up our long list. Now we're going to see the benefits of that as we embark on some very strong internal competition, evaluation, assessment, and ultimately decide at the end of a Gold Cup, which is your competition platform to test them all, where we stand when we make the next step into the next rotation of qualifying.
Michael, you've obviously been in and around the program as the assistant coach for a number of years now, but as you move into this interim head coaching role, is there a certain sphere of influence or a certain area of the Canadian team's game you'd like to most impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be said that we did a lot of work behind the scenes in the previous regime that I think we can't forget and we need to build upon. There was a strong foundation of education and what the tactical requirements are playing in a confederation such as CONCACAF. I think we've seen an advancing level of intelligence when it comes to our defensive game and our organization. We're very, very tough to break down, and I think that's been a great benefit to this team. Moving forward, there's no doubt that we need to improve in our attacking phase. We need to ultimately score more goals because that's what football is about, is scoring goals. And I think from my perspective, I want to provide the players with an opportunity to bridge from that solid foundation into that attacking phase. I want them to come to the game with a responsible but a no fear attitude in terms of trying to go to goal. And I think when you saw the El Salvador game and in some sections of the Mauritania game, you saw more numbers forward. You saw, I think, an attitude that they can do that. We just have to create the right atmosphere and the correct mindset. And you know, for me, it's all about the atmosphere that we do it in, and from the staff support to technical, all of it is all about a team effort, and it's all about creating the right atmosphere around these players so they can really provide, you know, a positive influence on the game whenever they play for us.